What is my purpose for today as your coach? Today is the first in series of 4 webinars that we are going to run. As you will go through this presentation today, you will realize why we need 4. Today, we are going to address 2 things. One, we are looking to tighten up the nuts and bolts of your business, right? And number 2, tune up your business engine. Think of any long drive that first thing you do is check, what do? I tune up my engine. And that's the reason why we thought that first step for us is to focus on this clear mandate. What's Action Coach's definition of a successful business? Very simply, it's commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. And for us to be able to do that, and for you to be able to do that, you need to take certain steps. A series of 4 webinars is to really get to a business that is on track for exponential growth. What you have to remember is the pandemic is just behind us. Right now, entrepreneurs, this is our opportunity to really tune up our engines for the best ride that you're going to get over the next 24 to 36 months. The economy, Indian economy, and right now it is poised for significant growth over the next 24 to 36 months. So if you are at the right spot, you would be getting that exponential growth with the right activities and the actions that you take. Friends, learning for each one of us never stops. Think back when you started to learn driving. As a novice, there was what we call unconscious incompetence. You don't know, really absolutely are clear in your mind that you don't know how to drive. And then somebody puts you on the driver's seat and starts teaching you. You become an advanced beginner. I know that I don't know how to drive. There's consciousness that you don't know how to drive. And then practice. You get a license and you're out on the roads driving on your own. And this is where the proficiency comes into play. But at the same time, early on, you were always conscious. Am I driving right? As you continue to drive, you become unconsciously competent. What happens then? Driving becomes second nature to you. And that is where what happens. I start doing other stuff while driving. And that's where complacency sets in. And those are the oops moments. So really understand the 4 stages of learning. They are extremely important. Keep that in mind as soon as you are trying to do something new. You have to take these 4 steps to reach to an expert level. Now, this very interesting concept that I'm going to talk to all of you about is what we call the formula for life success. This formula, and I've coached many businesses, many entrepreneurs. This is the bedrock of all the thinking that we have. And I've seen entrepreneurs take it to heart, really take it to heart and say, yes, this is something that has changed my life. When you ask that person, what do you want to have in life? People talk about, I want to have this bigger house. I want to have this fantastic car. I want to have a lot of things. So really, when you look at haves are results, outcomes, wins for yourself in life. And you ask those people, okay, if you want those haves, how are you going to get it? And the most simplest answer is, I'll need to do something. So that have and do are connected, which means I work hard and I'm able to get my haves. So really, most often, the formula in most people's mind is do's are equal to have. And what are do's? Do's are your actions and behaviors that you really take. And it is these actions and behaviors that you believe are going to get you your haves. But my friends and entrepreneurs, what we really miss out is one key element, and that is the B. If you don't have the right B, and what is the B? B is having the right mindset. B is having the right thoughts. B is having the right knowledge. B is having the right beliefs. B is having the right identity. B is also having the right values. So remember, it is both the be and the do that will get you the haves. हिंदी में जैसे कहते हैं कि कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ करना पड़ता है, which is the do, और कुछ बनना पड़ता है, which is the be. So the be is what you need to be. How do you need to change yourself? And the do is where your business needs to really change and what actions you need to take to get you the haves that you ultimately want. What are your dreams? What is it that you want in life? The third important concept that I wanted to talk to you is the concept of line of power. Now, imagine the black line in the middle as the line of power. If you are below the line, what happens? Below the line, you're always giving blames, excuses, and denials. What lies above the point of power, line of power, are three key things. What lies above is the ownership, accountability, and responsibility, which are exactly the opposite of blames, excuses, and denials. As an entrepreneur, you need to have and you need to always be thinking above the line of power, because below the line of power, you're always answering the question why this did not happen or why I could not achieve what I set out to achieve. Whereas above the line of power, you are always thinking and answering that question, how can I do it? So instead of playing the victim card, which is below the line, if you're above the line, you always play the victor card. Okay, working in your business is all about selling, doing, making. Working in your business also means you're blind to possible opportunities and threats. Working also means moving, but you can't see which direction you're going. And also working in your business also means ultimately doing a job in your business. So if you felt that, oh, I want to start my own business, I want to be an entrepreneur, and here, lo and behold, instead of being employed by somebody else, your business has employed you. That is what business, working in your business is all about. Good example I can give you. A coachee came to me and said, Coach, I start my day at 8:30 in the morning and finish at 9:30 in the evening. And I'm just not moving forward. Because what has happened is, that person has become a busy person instead of a business person. So that is where the difference is. So what does it take to work on your business? Work on your business is where you are in a position of leadership. You plot a course and plan your journey, set goals, action plans, and then execute. Scan the horizon for any threats, opportunities, and then you're actually steering your business and not working in your business. So really think about this difference and take a hard look at yourself inside your heart and answer that question, whether you're working in your business or on your business. I know what would have piqued your interest when with the topic, right? Exponential growth. And you would be scratching your head, how can these coaches get me exponential growth? And very simply, we have what we call a 6-step process-driven method to take you on the journey of exponential growth. So are we all ready to understand what are the next 6 steps? And out of these 6 steps, today, with time permitting, we are only going to cover the first basic step. So let's see what are the 6 steps. The first step is what we call mastery. And as you can see, it basically eliminates chaos. So basically, mastery brings clarity from all the chaos that you may have. And we'll talk about how and what are the key elements of mastery. And mastery brings stability to the business, ensures that your business is ready to take off. Next is niche. The next one is leverage, which is all about efficiency. And then we will talk about team, which is structured for growth. What is any entrepreneurs who believes that today employees are not his or her best asset, I think are missing the boat. Your team is your best bet to get you where you want to be. And a team that is charged up is so crucial for success. And then as we go forward, once we have these 4 key elements ready, mastery, niche, leverage, and team, it's at that stage we expect synergy in the business. We expect your business to be run like a well-oiled machine. And then finally, we address it with results, which is all about your growth, owners, entrepreneurs' growth, and looking at possibly investing in new businesses. At result stage, entrepreneurs, your business actually starts working for you. You stop working for the money. The business is providing and giving you enough money to either continue to invest in other businesses or truly become a serial entrepreneur. So we'll talk about mastery, which is really how do we eliminate chaos from our business. Mastery, as we say, is all about moving from chaos to control. And there are 4 areas to mastery. Those areas are destination, money, time, and delivery. And I have a short explanation on each one of them so that you understand when I say destination, what does it mean? When I say money, what does it mean? Time or delivery? So when we look at destination, what we need to understand is very simply, what is the purpose why you are running that business? Finding that purpose, finding that why is so important, because once you find that why, you will be able to craft your vision. Your vision actually describes what the future state is. Vision is something that holds good for years to come. Vision is still far bigger, right? Vision is all about what's your worldview? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? Far, far bigger. So think about a vision which is far bigger than what you have even thought about today. And I'll give you some examples as we go forward. Mission. So basically what we're talking about 2 key elements in destination mastery: vision and mission. Mission describes your present state, who you are, why are you here, why do you exist. And if I explain a little bit more on this, the next slide actually does it for us. So vision is that I want to be at 29,032 feet, right, which is top of Mount Everest. So if that is my vision, that I want to be at the top of Mount Everest, which is where I want to go, mission is really the road that gets us there. How are we going to achieve it? What's going to be my first base camp? Or mission could be that even for first base camp at 17,000 feet, what do I need to do? Right? How do I need to prepare myself? How do I need to sort of get ready for that steep climb beyond 17,000, and then the second base camp probably at 23,000, and then the final climb up to 29,032. Right? So it is important for us to be clear in our minds, what is it that we want to do? Mission is the road that gets you there. Culture is what kind of people do you want to bring to the top of the mountain with you? And that is where I touch upon the fact that finding a cultural match within your employees that you hire and the current team to the match that the organization values are becomes so very important. The better the cultural match with your employees and their value set with the organization value set, the longer they will stay with you. So then comes the goals, which are staging posts along the way, right? So if that journey is, let's say, X kilometers long, what are the goals, right? You keep seeing the goal posts as you drive around the highway, Delhi or whatever, how far you have gone or how far you've yet to go, right? So those are the goals. So now just to give clarity, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions in your mind, what is this coach talking about? So I just thought I'll give you some interesting examples of what vision statements large companies have and how they connect what they do to that vision statement. The key is, as I said, the key is not about having a vision statement and then putting it in your back of your front office executive saying, this is my vision. It's not about that. It's about living it, breathing it day in, day out. It's about getting into your DNA. So let's take an example. Some examples I have. Look at Apple. Apple says the company is the face of Earth, and more importantly, and look at it how it matches with what they do on a day. They will make products good in quality and great for use. Remember, great for use. And if you look at every Apple product that today is produced, the UI experience, the user interface experience is by far the best in the category. Any Apple product. And that is where Apple stands out. That is where, if you ask anybody, I need a phone which has great user interface, people will just shut their eyes and say, go buy an Apple. Right? Now, Apple doesn't have a vision that they're going to sell 1 billion phones in a year. No, that's not their vision. Or let's look at another big company, right? Amazon. Amazon's vision is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company and build a place where people can come and find and discover anything that they might want to buy online, right? Be it a needle or a Mercedes today. You can buy it on Amazon. Come on, that's a big statement, right? So if you look at, again, if today you have to buy anything online, what is the first company that comes to your mind? Amazon. Despite the fact that Amazon today is outside of China, is a company with largest revenue globally across the world, Amazon still treats itself as a startup. Imagine the thinking. What is the vision that Jeff Bezos has put into employees? Such a large global company, and they put it in their employees' mind. Or the third one, which is what somewhere we are also doing, right? We are spreading ideas today. TED spread ideas. 2-line vision. TED is not talking about how many TEDx seminars or TED talks they will do or what is the revenue they will generate. That's not their vision. The vision is spread ideas. We believe passionately in the power of ideas to change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. So think about that and see and really take a hard look at what your vision needs to be. Let's look at your reticular activation system. Okay, the RAS is a system that goes from to your brain and basically resets of what it is wanting to hear and what it's not wanting to hear. Think of last time that you intended to buy a car. The moment you hooked on to the car that you want to buy, every time you went on the road, you saw that car being driven on the road. And you say, oh yeah, that's the car I want to drive. That's the car I want to buy. That is what RAS does to you. As action coaches, we help you. We help your RAS set to your goals, because that is what then your brain starts accepting your goals as something that you can achieve. So it's the compass for your brain, and your goals set that compass. It actually filters out relevant information to identify opportunities in line with your defined goals. And why do we set goals? We set goals for 3 things: direction and focus. Where are we headed? Movement and momentum. We know we have achieved this. Now we are on to the next one and the next one. And really, goals help you, the person that you want to become. How do we set effective goals? I'm sure you would have seen this many times over. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, having SMART goals really makes your life easy and absolutely brings clarity. Because the word acronym SMART that was put for goals actually fits even today, right? Your goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So if you're sitting today at 10, just as a number, and you want to be at 100, you have to think hard whether it's a realistic number in the next 12 months from 1st April to 31st March. And if it is realistic, then whether it is achievable or not. So think about every goal that you put for your business. Really keep it clear and keep your goals smart. If you want to take a picture of this slide, feel free to do so. This is an important slide in terms of when you look at your goals. Now let's move to the next. Once you have looked at what's your vision, mission, what are your goals, the next piece that you need to fix is money. Ultimately, cash is king, right? But the first important thing and most important thing that you need to worry about is what are your business dashboards. If your business is small business, let's say similar to a cycle, if you're a solopreneur just starting off and things like that, typically cycles, a dashboard would be how many kilometers you've done, what's the speed you're driving at. Those are the two things that typically most cycles give you. As the business gets more complex, think of it as a car dashboard, right? You start getting more information. What's the mileage I'm driving? How much fuel do I have? And things like that. And then as your business gets still bigger, the dashboard becomes actually more complex as probably an airplane cockpit. Remember, it is these dashboards that will drive your success going forward as you start measuring everything. Because whatever you measure is what you can improve. Therefore, dashboards are important. And that's where I come to the key performance indices. These are your business vital signs. These numbers can be financial as well as non-financial. And we'll talk about both. Financial numbers, obviously, as an entrepreneur, you need to understand whether your revenue is increasing or not. Profits, are you, despite the fact that you're selling, are you making money or you're not? Projected cash flow. In the last 18 months, you would have definitely understood cash is king. So managing your cash flow is so important. You may have sold, but if you have not recovered money, your business may actually go down the tube despite the fact that you have actually increased your sales year on year. But because you're unable to recover money, you're suddenly in a bind and you can't actually run your business successfully. Equity, is my business gaining valuation or not? And then comes the real interesting stuff. What is my days sales outstanding? What are my aged payables? What is my current ratios? These are ratios that really help you understand what and how your business is performing. And then comes non-financial ratios. Well, these are key activity measures and drivers. For example, if I was Airtel, I'm looking at average revenue per user. If I'm a hotel, I'm looking at what is my average room rate that I'm recovering. Or if I'm a hotel, I'm looking at what is my average occupancy. Is my occupancy going up? My occupancy may go up to 100%, but if my average room rate starts dropping significantly, then probably my revenues may drop and it may impact my profit because of higher occupancy. My cost of running the hotel may go up. And if my revenues are not, if my ARR is not strong enough, I'll actually be making losses. Is my customer service to the standard or not? And then other items that are linked to your strategies and values. So once you looked at the money piece, the next piece is as an entrepreneur, it's your most valuable asset. And I know if you noticed what I talked about and why I'm talking about is time. Time as an entrepreneur is your most valuable asset. How you invest your time decides whether you're working on your business or in your business. Believe me, it's as simple as that. And let's see that. So Stephen Covey was a psychologist and he really came up with a classic 2x2 matrix. And Covey did a phenomenal job. Every time management workshop that you will go with, and before I say time management, remember, no coach in this world can teach you how to manage time because time cannot be managed. As a coach, I have 24 hours. As an entrepreneur, you have 24 hours. Another simple example, if I give you a car and if I have a car, if in 1 hour, I drive it to 60 kilometers, whereas you drive it to 100 kilometers, who's more productive? And that's the key. But what is important is for us to understand it's not about managing time, but it's how productive we are within that given amount of time that we are working on our business. So this is Covey's 2x2 matrix. This is something that you need to absorb and ingrain in yourself. Now let's take a look. The quadrant 4, not important, not urgent. And believe me, this is what most of us do. I would say 10% of our time, 20% of our time, right? Trivia, busy work, some emails, emails that you don't need to even respond to. You're still saying thank you. Some phone calls, time wasters, pleasant activities. These are total time wasters, my friends. Just don't do it. Then comes the distraction. Distraction is all about this lovely device that you have in your hand and the WhatsApp messages that keep coming and the Instagrams that you keep forwarding to other great friends that you have and in the groups that you're part of and all that stuff. That is distraction. Distraction is also, some meetings that you run, reach any conclusion. And then comes firefighting. Firefighting is what most of entrepreneurs that I coach do 60% of their time, right? Like, boss, this invoice needs to go. What is the final price you agreed to? The boss is doing something else, the entrepreneur, and then again, he's sort of thinking, okay, what was the price that I committed to? What happened? And stuff like that. You are sort of doing the mundane stuff, answering questions that the process should have answered for that question. So really, looking at pressing problems, looking at deadline-driven projects is all about firefighting. Where you need to be is quadrant 2. It's important, but not urgent. That is where you're doing creative work. That is where you're doing capability improvement. That's where you're doing relationship building, looking at new opportunities, expanding on those and planning and even recreation. That is the stuff that you really need to focus on. It is this quadrant 2. Even if you start spending 20% of your time that you spend every week in this quadrant 2, entrepreneurs, I can guarantee you will see a significant change in your thinking and the way your business is headed. So if you want your business to be exponentially growing, what you really need to focus on is quadrant 2. Focus on that, my friends, and you will get there where you have to be. And as I said, what are you doing with your time? Do a quick audit. How many hours per day, per week are you currently working? What are the biggest chunks of activities that you're doing on most days? And as action coaches, we have brilliant tools to help you measure this. How much of time do you spend on these chunks and what activities could you delegate or possibly outsource? These are low scale, low interest jobs. Again, many times we have tools, tricks, tips to tell you how to delegate, because delegation is again not about abdication, right? Even if you have delegated the work, your neck is still there because you are accountable for it. So people understand the difference between delegation and accountability, right? So therefore, it is important for you to understand very clearly, even when you delegate. And as coaches, we teach you how to delegate well. What are the check-ins that you need to have? As they say, if you're filling up a tub, no use in turning on the tap if the plug at the bottom of the tub is left out, open, because the water will flow straight into the drain. So when I say delivery mastery, what I'm asking you to do is, whatever be your products and services, are you delivering it the way the customer wants it, with the quality that the customer requires, in the quantity that the customer requires, and on the date and time that the customer is looking for? First step, and this is really, as I said, this is the chaos to control piece, right? Ensure that what you're delivering, your products and services, are absolutely right in terms of what the customer is looking for. And what do we need to do to that? Clean up the bottleneck. Really look at raising delivery standards and delivering with consistency. And we'll talk a little bit about delivering with consistency. There was a fantastic research that happened you would have seen customers come in and customers leave you, right? And why do people leave you? People leave you on different reasons. They're reasons. 1% customers at times, unfortunately, pass away. 3% move house or location. 5% buy from a friend that they know. 9% actually your competition takes them away. 14% leave because they didn't find the right product or the right price from you. But the biggest chunk of 68% leave because of what? Perceived indifference. That means as a business, you didn't take care of them. You didn't make them feel valuable. That is what delivery mastery is all about. Ensuring that the customer understands very clearly it is for you that your business lives and breathes. And once you are able to translate that in terms of your delivery, in terms of products and services that you offer, those 68% customers will not leave you. So we're talking about winning customer service. And winning customer service comes from two counts: consistency and easy to buy, which actually together gives the customer a wow factor. Look at most easiest example I can give you is McDonald's, right? McDonald's doesn't serve you the best. McDonald's doesn't promise that they're going to sell the best burger in town. No. But what they're saying is, I'm going to deliver a consistent burger every time that you walk into a McDonald's anywhere globally. And number two, I'm going to make it easy for you to buy. And that's why McDonald's, despite the fact it doesn't sell the best burger in town, is the largest selling burger in the world. Think of another example. You walk into a local grocery store that you have all what you can buy at grocery stores, and you're walking down the aisles, and how much time it takes you to find the right product that you want to buy, as against an Amazon, where once you've set up a grocery list, every month you can just click on repeat, and lo and behold, it's done. The reason why this shift has happened is because of two things: consistency and making it easy for customers to buy. So pretty much I'm at the end of my run and my end of my presentation. And I'll quote Richard Branson because really he's a visionary in terms of what he runs as a business, and he's a serial entrepreneur. So he very clearly says, if you can learn to run one business successfully, there'll be no reason why you can't run any number of businesses at the same time, because principles of running the business are still the same. Or Jim Rohn, great thought leader, never wish your life was easier. Wish that you were better. Work harder on yourself. This is the B part. B part. Work harder on yourself, changing your B, than you do on your job. And lastly, quoting our founder, chairman, CEO, Brad Sugars, where you will be in the last 5 years will depend on the books you read and the people you associate with. And hold your thoughts. And the actions you take. That is what is important, the action that you take. And now really, entrepreneurs, it's time to get into action. So what I've done today is got you on that journey. If you are able to fix these four things, and these are the delivery mastery, where you're headed, what's your vision, mission, your money, how are you looking at your business on the finance side, the third is your time, and the fourth is delivery of your products and services. These are four key important things. First, to tune up your engine, tighten up your nuts and bolts. Do watch out for the next session that is going to happen in 15 days.